Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the Admas character of our world around us, and this time we will talk about dividing the spoils. There were a lot of spoils to be divided after the death of the greatest conqueror in the human history, the history we know. I mean the king of Macedon, the Alexander the Great, and after his death there was his um, empire still not formed till its end, because it was state formed rapidly on the basis of the rapid conquest, and after his death his successors, from Greek called Diadochi, and started fighting with each other in many wars, and as a result of these fightings the mm, results of Alexander's heavy work and previously also work of his father Philip II, king of Macedon, who modernized Macedonian army. Alexander made the best use of it, the best possible. They created, especially Alexander, Macedonian Empire that was divided, so that's why dividing the spoils by the Alexander's officers and commanders. So this story was told many times in many books, but quite recently, in 2011, so more than 10 years ago, the book entitled Dividing the Spoils by British historian and translator who is living currently in Greece, Robin Waterfield, has been published. This is a very good account of the Diadochi period, Diadochi wars, and also the background, what was happening in the background in terms of social changes, cultural changes, religious changes, and technological changes. This is an incredible presentation of this period, because in the previous books by other authors describing this period, one can find mainly a political military description of this incredible turbulent times, but there are not so many connections with other aspects of life, like culture, like society, like religion. Maybe from time to time someone mentions something, but it's not so profound and not so nicely done as it is done in the book entitled Dividing the Spoils by Mr. Robin Waterfield. So that is why I recommend this book, and very interesting part of this work, in my opinion, is the analysis of the perception of the successful leader who was victorious in the moment by the Greek society. So actually, Robin Waterfield postulates, and I think I agree with him, that successful Diadochi, like Demetrius Poliorketes, so in English from Greek translation, the besieger, was really regarded by many Athenians. Of course, there were also skeptics, cynics, and atheists, but he was regarded by many Athenians as a living god, because he was so successful at the moment. Other Diadochi were also regarded as gods, and the cults of some of them were launched when they were still alive. So it means that success made you divine. The greater success you had in this period of time, the more divine you were, at least in the eyes of huge part of the population. This is very interesting view, because many people were debating if Diadochi were really regarded, and before Alexander, as gods, or maybe it was only a political trick, or maybe people were not really thinking it was true. but Mr. Robin Waterfield makes it clear that in the eyes of many people, very successful commanders or very successful people in other disciplines, whose achievements surpassed much more the achievements of others, were really regarded as living gods. It's not so surprising to me, but I'm really happy that someone finally made this statement clear, and it gives us a little bit fresh view on the ancient Greek religion. This is valuable, and also I like the fact that Mr. Waterfield created a nice narration of this incredibly complex period that one can follow, and the book has the dictionary of the main characters of this period, tables with chronology and so on. It's very nicely done. Also, I like the descriptions how such turbulent period created more individualistic culture due to the insecurity of everyday life, emigrations, and detachment from the previous communities, mainly Greek polis, so city-states, and how individualism later affected culture, religion, and later um, nice environment for such religions like Christianity, and later all these agnostic sects and so on, and later also Islam was created. And it's surprising for some people, even to me sometimes, for a person who is studying this period. This is one of my favorite periods, as the subscribers of my channel know. It's really surprising how the basics of the modern world in terms of religions, the main religions, has been created in the times of the turbulent but very, I would say, productive and intellectually challenging Hellenistic period. So we see that the beginnings of Hellenistic period, so years from 323 BC to 279. So, according to Mr. Waterfield, and I agree with him, this was the time. So, till the death of Ptolemaios Keraunos. Keraunos means the thunder, when he was killed in the battle with the Celtic invaders. This period can be described by old Anglo-Saxon saying that is telling us that the future is being born in the fire of war. And yes, the future not only for the great Hellenistic period, but also for modern times in a huge part of the globe, as we see now, was born in the fire of war in between the successors of Alexander the Great, and this story is nicely set in the book Dividing the Spoils by Robin Waterfield. All the best, have a nice day, bye.